The Horizon is a mechanical swing-lens panoramic camera. It is manufactured by Krasnogorsky Mechanicheskiy Zavod in Krasnogorsk, Russia, better known for the range of Zenit cameras. The main characteristic of this camera is its rotating lens that takes in a 120 degrees panorama as the shutter button is pressed. The current models labeled as Horizon Perfekt and Horizon Kompakt. History. The history of this camera dates back to the Soviet Union in the year 1948 when cameras.The manufactured a very limited series of prototypes called FD1, a small, boxy panoramic camera for 35mm film. The first public edition was presented years later on the Brussels World Fair in 1958 under the name FD2. Off the chronological order, an additional number of cameras labeled FD3 with prototype characteristics had already been produced in 1952 and 1953. FD stood for Fotoapparat Tokareva, meaning Tokarev's camera. Tokarev is said to have come up with the initial design. The film had to be loaded into special cassettes that then would be inserted into the camera. Until 1968, 16.662 FD2 were made and sold also abroad under the names Spiritone, Panorama and Spaceview. In 1967 it was succeeded by the Horizon. This camera already shared the basic looks with the present models and had similar technical specs. It had a f/8/28 of a millimeter industrial lens and 4 shutter speeds, ranging from 1/30th to 1/250th. First introduced at Photokina in 1966, the Horizon created a picture using 24 by 58mm frames on 35mm film. It had an f/28p fixed focus lens and offers shutter speeds of 1/30th, 1/60th and 1/125th. Its body is 142mm wide, 100mm high and 67mm deep and weighs 910 grams. After 49,849 units, this model was discontinued in 1973. In 1989 the camera was picked up again by cameras.The and reworked, especially on the exterior. This time cameras.The called the camera Horizon 202. Instead of a metal case, the outside was now made of ABS plastic. The interior workings, however, did not change much. The biggest change was the addition of a second gear, resulting in an additional set of shutter speeds. This left the photographer with 8 speeds to choose from: 1/2s, 1/4s, 1/8s, 1/15th, 1/30th, 1/60th, 1/125th and 1/250th. In latter models the speeds 1/15th and 1/30th were dropped in favor of a more evenly running mechanism. Since 2006 it is sold in a stripped-down version with only 2 shutter speeds as Horizon Kompakt. In 2003 an again reworked edition was presented, initially released as Horizon 203 but then called Horizon S3 Pro. This upgrade focused on design and performance, leaving the technical specs as they were. In 2005 the Lomographics Society International and cameras.The partnered to sell the camera together under the name Horizon Perfekt. From about 2000 to 2005 a medium format edition called Horizon 205 PC was produced in small numbers. This model, however, did not make it to mass production and was discontinued. Technical design. Throughout all its history, the basic technical design remained unchanged. When the shutter button is pressed, a drum carrying the lens is rotating from left to right. Inside the camera through a small slit on the back of the drum, the captured image is projected on the film, which in turn also sits on a curved carrier. By varying the width of the slit, the time each segment of film is exposed to light is changed. With this trick, different shutter speeds can be achieved without changing the rotating speed of the drum. The entire mechanism is powered by a spring. The focus of the lens is fixed on infinity when stopped down to aperture 16. All objects from about 1 meter onwards will be pictured sharp. On 35mm film, the camera produces frames of a size of 24 by 58 mm.